Live on WFLA Now. This is Run for Fun with running enthusiast Leigh Spann.
Let's go is taking on a whole new meaning today. Welcome back to the Stream Center here at WFLA Now. For this episode of Run for Fun with Leigh Spann, of course, it's the show we created to help people lead healthier lives by loving to be active and actually finding it fun. This week we are talking about the not so fun aspect of running. A lot of runners do end up having GI or stomach issues while they're running. And so we thought, you know what? It's part of it. We have to talk about it. It can be a funny part of it. Of course, I'm the host, meteorologist Leigh Spann here at WFLA, but also a running enthusiast who learned everything I know from my coach. Coach Maria joins us every week. And Coach,
hi everybody.
GI issues, they are something special.
They're very, very tough to deal with. They are funny though. It is about mentality. You gotta laugh about it.
So let's talk a little bit about maybe why it happens, because it can sometimes be referred to as the runner's trot, because it comes up your stomach, you're running along, you're doing just fine, and then all of a sudden your stomach starts cramping up, and it's like you have almost no time to get to a bathroom.
There's a couple reasons that it happens. One is dehydration. That's very common.
Which is why it's happening this time of the year for in the summer.
Yeah, running a little too hard can do that. Harder than you should be for your ability. That can cause it. What you eat can cause it. And just an overall, like, if your body is not used to running, it has to get used to it. So when you start running, sometimes it can kick your metabolism up, and your metabolism just wants to get rid of what's in there.
So fun. so
fun.
Immediate and so fun. Yeah. Because it can have to do with, like, especially when it's hot, that your body is sort of working so hard to
cool itself
that it says, okay, I can't do it all.
Yeah.
What I can stop doing is digesting what all's going on in there. So let's just get rid of that. And then, so that's why it can happen so quickly.
Yeah, it can happen very quickly. And there's a lot of runners that know where every porta potty is along the stop, which is a very valid way to plan a run if that's the case.
Because a lot of us are running maybe before stores are open. You're running before work, which is so. Porta potties are a runner's best friend. Sometimes they're not clean, but they're
and sometimes
there.
We do have to. Sometimes we have to find bushes, and it can be kind of embarrassing. And if you're a non-runner and you happen to see it out your window, I really just prefer that you just turn around and say, "Whoops!" Like that poor person. Let's not be like videotaping people like we did in the Boston Marathon with the guy that got out and went to the bathroom in somebody's yard.
That did go viral.
I promise you he was not wanting to do that.
That was not his plan. That was not, when he made up his race plan, it was not, let me step into this into this house. And he tried to get behind some bushes. What he didn't realize is that then there was the house camera, the surveillance camera was right on him. And then I can't tell you, if you've never gone through it, that it's so immediate.
And it's terrifying.
And you get cold sweats, and I don't know what else I'm going to do. Yeah. There's only one option if you don't get somewhere, and that's
And we are all terrified of it. It is absolute sheer terror. I mean, my husband's heart rate when it goes up 10 beats when he has to go to the bathroom, and he starts freaking out. Like it is very common.
I only recently went back and looked at some of my heart rates, and you can really watch it go up. I mean, it is a terrifying experience.
Terrifying. It's terrifying.
Because my favorite story is one that I have told so much, and I just have to tell it because I find there was some divine intervention. I had a 21 miler, which Maria doesn't even give 21 milers. I don't know why she gave me 21 miles.
It was a faster 21 miles.
Yes. Yeah. And so on Christmas morning, and I was in it.
It was a Christmas present. I was giving you a Christmas present.
Delightful Christmas present. And I was visiting my family in Wilmington, North Carolina. And my sister-in-law, also a runner, she's like, great, we have these great trails. And there's a couple of them, and they all connect. You just got to know where they connect. So she's like, here's a map. So I folded this map up, and I put it in my little satchel, and off I trot early in the morning on Christmas morning. And I'm doing fine. Of course, it's cold. I mean, it's Wilmington, it's North Carolina, and December 25th, it was chilly. So I'm not having any issues. But I got lost. I clearly didn't check that map. But I was like, I got 21 miles. I'm going to find this is not a big town.
Yeah,
I'll find it. I wasn't worried at all. So one day because I knew that I was supposed to run by University of Wilmington. So I was like, all I have to do is just ask someone where the University of Wilmington is. I'll be fine. Until I had to go to the bathroom. Then the terror started setting in, realizing what day it was, what time it was.
Right.
Nothing is ever going to be open. And I thought, I don't even know where I am. Like, I have no idea. My plan was just to find the University of Wilmington at some point. And so I thought, am I going to knock on someone's door on Christmas morning and ask to come into their house? Surprise. It's not Santa. and again, it is sheer panic. And I don't know where I am, and I'm trying, and I'm like,
and it's not a pretty bathroom situation. It's not like you're going to go dainty pee in the bathroom. You know you're going to blow up somebody's bathroom.
And that's what I was thinking
on Christmas morning.
And I don't know, maybe a mile or two where I think there might have been tears because I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. And I turned the corner of just this random corner, and I look, and down the street is a Denny's with a huge sign that said, "Open on Christmas." It was as if the heavens had opened and was like, ah. And so I got to go to a bathroom. There were cops inside eating. I showed them my map. They showed me how to get back to my city. And all was fine.
You must have good karma, Leigh. Like somebody was looking out for you that day, because if that had been me, I would have had to go to the bathroom in a bush.
Yeah. So that's the story that I'm telling. There are other stories that I am not telling that didn't. There was no divine intervention on those days.
Okay, that's fair.
But they all make for good stories.
Here's a question. Mm-hmm. What did you eat the night before? Did you happen to have any kind of alcoholic beverages? Did you have
probably? But I was trying to carb load through. I'd stopped at my family's Christmas Eve, and so I was just eating things that I probably normally don't eat. But I was I can eat anything I want because I'm running 21 miles tomorrow. So Christmas Eve, I just ate a bunch of stuff, and now my earpiece is falling out. I just ate a bunch of stuff, and maybe a little bit of alcohol when I got to Wilmington. But I was pretty tired, but it was mainly that it was. Just I had tried to carb load on just whatever anyone had, and clearly that just didn't. Yeah,
so likely there was a lot of fat in that food that you didn't know about, because typically what happens, there usually is a reason for GI distress. Just distress. Sometimes it just randomly happens. I mean, you could have a bug, but that's not typically what it is. Typically, it's like too much fat the night before.
Just think of it as grease going through your system.
Yeah. It just. Your stomach can't handle it. And then it can be alcohol. Alcohol can cause it, because also your body's trying to get rid of the alcohol and not knowing how to process things. And you're a little dehydrated from it. And so that can cause it. Also, like fiber. Like if you're eating like a ton of salad, or you're eating like fruits and stuff the day before a run, like a lot of fruits, or you have more than 30 grams of fiber in your diet, which some of us do, you have to be careful about that.
And so those are obviously some things you can do to help remedy this or mitigate it as much as you can, is pay attention to what you're eating the day before.
Yeah.
Obviously, lower fat, lower fiber, lower alcohol are all things you can do to help with it. And then to stay hydrated, because as soon as when it is hot and it is humid and your body is it says, I will keep you alive.
Yes. And it doesn't
That's all I'm going to be able to do.
It doesn't care about digesting the gel you just took.
Right.
It will just be like, no, sorry, I'm just not going to digest it. I'm going to make it go out a different way.
Some way.
So, yeah. And also, like with the gels and stuff, you do have to kind of train your stomach. Like I can't tell you how many runners will say to me, no, I just can't eat before I run. And I'm calling your bluff on all of that, because you have to train your stomach to be able to eat something. And that doesn't mean you go out and eat a big breakfast every morning. You can train your stomach with a little bit of carbohydrates, and then the next week you have a little bit more and a little bit more, until your stomach can adjust to you taking something in. Because the runner that can get fuel in is the happy runner.
Yeah.
The runner that's running fasted is the grouchy runner.
not running fast, running fasted.
Fasted.
Meaning that you haven't eaten anything since the night before and now you're trying to run.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose weight that way. First of all, your body is going to say, no, I'm going to hold everything in.
Yeah, and it's going to spike your cortisol and
Yeah.
make everything awful. So always eat something before you run, but it doesn't have to be a lot. It can be as little as a half a banana. It could be a graham cracker. It could be a fig Newton. Now, gradually increasing that will help because actually when you're running and everything's doing what it's supposed to be doing and you're processing those carbohydrates, you're going to have less digestive issues down the road. But you do have to train your body to do it.
Right. And so in the meantime, pay attention to your runs, your run route. Where is, a 7-Eleven that's open 24 hours a day? Or where is a porta potty? And be careful. From experience, sometimes the construction porta potties, they do zip tie them.
Oh, yeah.
So you're like, I'll just use that. And then you get there and now you're even more, the cortisol level spikes, even more stress.
If you're afraid of it,
Yeah.
if you're afraid of this, like don't use it as an excuse not to run.
Yeah.
Just find the places. There are places available open that are safe that you can go in and go to the bathroom.
And, you will hear this theme in every one of our Run for Fun shows. Slow down.
Yeah.
That if your body is rejecting what is happening, slow down, take a walk, try to get everything sort of resettled back down. There are some ways to make it better where you can find a restroom in time.
You can also train your body with consistency. So like I used to have GI problems when I was first running, but it was mostly because I was running at different times of the day. And my body was like, what are you doing? And then once I started having kids, I knew I had to be an early morning runner. So I would get up, have my coffee, have my bar, and go out and run. And my body got so used to it that now I get up, have my coffee, have my bar. I have no GI issues, and I haven't for years because my body just knows what to do.
Right.
It's trained to know what to do. So consistency over time, try to pick the same time of day, try to eat the same things so that and play with it a little bit. Like if it doesn't work this time, then try something else next time. But just don't try all the new things at one time and be like, "Ooh, I don't know what happened." Like
don't eat everything at your Christmas Eve brunch.
Yeah. And if you have ice cream the night before your run, like chances are, just know.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm probably going to have to go to the bathroom tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like my husband knows now. Like he'll be like, "Hey, we need to change our route because I had wine last night or I had ice cream last night," because he's sensitive to it. He's more sensitive to it. My son is more sensitive to it. So you just have to know your body and know how to, adjust the route that you're going the next day. Or, if it's an important workout, don't eat the ice cream.
Don't eat the ice cream. And I've always found that in that transition time where you're going from the weather in the winter to the weather in the summer, and your body hasn't adjusted yet, which we just talked about, how the dew points is so important a couple of weeks ago, that is when I am most susceptible to it because I'm just not used to it and my body is freaking out. And again, just like you said, with consistency, same thing. Like I'm consistently going out in the humidity. It says my body figures it out, but that transition time, man, that'll get you.
Yeah, and if you really want the ice cream, get low-fat frozen yogurt.
Or have it after your run.
Yeah, I know, but I love to have ice cream. Like, I like to carb load with ice cream sometimes. But I do like the yogurtology, like that kind of like no-fat frozen yogurt because it's high in sugar and low in fat.
I thought about that.
Like you can do something like that. And also the alcohol. Like alcohol is a big, big no-no. It's a big, big no-no if you have GI problems. Right. I mean, it's kind of a big no-no in running in general, but we're recreational runners. We're going to do it. So just work it to your advantage. Have it later in the day after your run. Try not to have it the night before because that's if you're a morning runner.
All right. Well, that is we knew we were going to eventually talk about handling GI issues because there's what my husband was telling one of these stories. I have multiple to his friends, and they go, "Oh, what would your wife do if she knew she was telling this story?" And he goes, "She'd be real mad. She'd be real mad that she wasn't the one that got to tell." Yeah.
It's kind of true. We're kind of oddly proud of our pooping all over town stories.
And so yes, don't feel, if that happens to you, it happens to literally the best of us. So
and don't be embarrassed by it. Try, it's just it is what it is.
And there are ways you can help. We've told you those.
Yeah.
But if, in the end, just got a new story to tell.
And actually, you just became part of the club.
You became part of the club. All right. We'll see you next time, everybody. Have a great week.
All right. Bye-bye.